Hi, I'm Daisy and today we are talking NaNoWriMo. I probably look very sick because I am sick. I'm going to try my hardest not to cough in this video. I apologise if I do. If you are wearing headphones, I suggest you maybe turn them down because when I cough, I'm like really loud. So let's talk NaNoWriMo. Now, at first I was hesitant to take part in it, just because my idea wasn't very solid. I hadn't really had much time to prepare, which is stupid because I should really start preparing by the end of December and then just start, that would be easier if everyone just did that, I think. But it would kind of be cheating, I suppose, and you'd have to do it in the earlier spring one. So I ended up wanting to do something with angels and then I decided against it because I didn't like it. I do this every time I try it. I've only done it successfully once, and that time I was 9 days in and I decided I don't like this, I'm going to change it. And I wrote a whole entire novel, but I still want it, so I want it like before it even ended, so I'm kind of proud of that. But yeah, I'm one of those people that has to write from A to B, and I struggle with that when it's NaNoWriMo because I just don't have the time to then do it really, so I've kind of been cutting into scenes. So my original theme was angels, and then I thought, I just don't like it. I can't make it work. I can't do it. And I think it's probably comes into the factor that obviously when you come with angels, it comes with sort of the religious side of things as well. And me not being religious, I can't really express it in the right way. I don't know why, I just can't. So I've gone for something shapeshiftery. So it's still it's something fantasy, but it's a really awkward one to explain. But there are shapeshifters in the world, it's set in the future a little bit, and there has been all these things like people getting murdered and robbed and all this sort of stuff, and there's a line in there that basically says that it was absurd that people were more offended that celebrities were being sort of replicated by a person than, people who were in a political system, and that was how, corrupt the whole world was, that the people didn't care about the people who were actually meant to be looking after you in the whole state and things like that. So if you can imagine that there's been all the crazy stuff, and then when they do find the people who actually look the real people, so like person A, they can't understand because they have a solid alibi. They have no reason why they would be at that place, and it could be on the other side of the world kind of thing. So they start to look into it a little bit more, and the whole point is that evolution has evolved humans to the point that they are sort of the new step in, and this is starting to sound very X-Men-y. I promise you it's not meant to be like X-Men. It's just whenever I explain it to someone, they're always like, this sounds like X-Men, Daisy, and I'm like, no, honestly, I'm trying to not make it like X-Men. It's just the evolvement, but they don't evolve so they can change into like a animal, because if they were an animal, or like for instance a worm, and they got cut in half, then when they turn back into a human they'd have half of their body, so there's no point. And their anatomy stays as the anatomy they were born in. It's just like their physical appearance that changes. So there is an organisation that is trying to track down all the shapeshifters to try and stop another uprising happening and the whole world sort of crashing on and totaling and just being really bad, because there's people who are sort of making an alliance to fight against this organisation. I haven't actually I haven't come up with a name for the organisation, it's just called the organisation at the moment. So the organisation is going around and tagging people, almost like cattle. So when they're tagged, they can find them by the kind of GPS kind of thing, but equally there's something about the chip that they put in that somehow messes with their anatomy that they can't actually physically change, so then they're stuck in their one true form, but their true form is like a human, but it's just they can change into everything else. So it's, I had a really creepy scene that I wrote in the early hours of this morning where I was explaining that a baby had been born and then shapeshifted into the dad that was standing there. So you've just given birth to a baby that has then turned, that was mental, just crazy. But this is kind of, that's what I was like, that's mental, I'm going to put it in. So today I have reached up to 7,131, I had to think about that number then. So basically I lost a few words because I had to change and I had to adapt a little bit, which I did take a large portion of the scenes that I could salvage and then move on. So that was at least something. But I know you're meant to just write, and everyone hates it at the beginning, but I just can't do it. It's just, I know, it's just, if I'm gonna do it, I have to sometimes just break the rules, and I have to do it to keep my own happiness, because my happiness is more important than, you know, saying that I have to write and I can't change it if I want to, because sometimes I have to go back and add more words in, because I'm like, oh my god, I can edit the scene, and I'm like, well, I can't add the scene later on because it has to be that scene right there. So I'm a bit of I'm not a cheater, but I just sort of like have to read back a little bit just to like remind myself anyway. So I'm having to go from like A to C and then Z and then Q, and then it's not going A to B, so I'm very much out of my comfort zone. So I'm wondering how you guys are doing with your NaNoWriMo. My breath is like so out of breath. I'm so out of breath right now because it is just, I haven't spoken this long all day. So that's dedication for you. So probably this week you'll only get videos like this because I can't actually sit down and film because A, I get really hot, and then I just can't do it. So let me know the concept of your NaNoWriMos, and I'm kind of proud that I'm trying to attempt to do it at least. And yes, I have been looking at the wrong place throughout this video. I'm really sorry. I know it's very distracting when someone's looking this way instead of that way. So let me know your word count as well, and I will add my NaNoWriMo down there at some point. It will be there by tomorrow. I don't think I'm going to be writing a lot tomorrow because Champion comes out at midnight, so I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? I will try and get at least some words in, because some words are better than none, and I have got a little bit ahead because I'm in the 7,000 range already. So yes, I'm sorry this video was so long. It's like a total of a load of days in one, so yeah, I'm starting to sound worse. So thank you for watching, thank you for subscribing, and happy reading. I'm glad you're on an internet screen instead of in front of me, otherwise I'd have infected you with my germs. Bye bye.